Alright, everyone. So I'm coming on here barefaced, which I guess most people aren't really used to. And this is a different format of video than I think most people are used to from me as well. But I wanted to talk about something that's a little bit different for my channel. And I guess it's more serious and kind of more mature of a topic. But I'm also going to be doing my first ever Get Ready For Me, so that's why I'm barefaced. But I wanted to talk a little bit about, as the title of my video says, my identity as a trans and non-binary person. So I'm going to be doing my makeup routine and getting ready for a stream. I know my lighting isn't the best because I'm at my stream setup, which is why I have my overlay here. But I'm going to be talking a little bit about my identity as a trans and non-binary person who decides to present femininely. So I hope y'all enjoy the music, me doing my makeup routine, and me just talking about my identity. This is not going to be like a super structured video. It's going to be very minimally edited because I just kind of want to chill and talk to y'all a little bit. And a lot of people ask me about my makeup routine, so I figured I'd do it on stream or on camera for y'all. Not stream, because I'm not streaming just yet, but I will be streaming for y'all later. So this video is going to go out probably like right before I go live on stream, because I wanted to talk about this, especially as I kind of talk a little bit more about my identity as what I refer to as a femboy. So I know femboy is kind of like a controversial label because it does have like a history of being sexualized for those who are cis men or cis boys. But I'm a person who was assigned female at birth and decided that that's a term that fits me because I am feminine presenting, but I heavily relate to the label boy. And I use they he pronouns. So I've known, and hopefully I could still do my eyebrows. I start with my eyebrows whenever I do my makeup routine. I've known that I was non-binary for a long time, since before I even knew what non-binary meant. I've known that I was non-binary. But I just didn't really know like the word for it. But I've known that I was non-binary since like 8th grade. I knew that although I was feminine and I was comfortable in some regards presenting femininely, I was also comfortable being androgynous or even sometimes masculine, and I didn't really fit into traditional like girly stereotypes, didn't fit into traditional girl gender roles. And that's not what non-binary means for everyone, and I want to preface all of this by stating that all of this is descriptive, not prescriptive, meaning that it helps to describe what the experience means to me, but it doesn't necessarily fit that for everybody's experience. And so for me, I was always like taller. I was always doing things that didn't really like fit what girls in my age group would do. I was queer at a very young age. I for a while wanted to be a boy at times. I wanted to be a girl at times. I wanted to be no gender at times. I didn't really know what these things meant, but I knew that I felt that inside. And so I would probably have been like gender fluid at a young age. And then as I got older, I got into a lot of like queer literature. I was very nerdy. And so I didn't have a lot of friends. I was bullied in high school. And so I spent a lot of my time reading manga and queer books at the library. And so I got into queer literature, and that's when I learned about what it meant to be non binary. And when I learned about what it meant to be non binary, I knew that that fit me. And so by the time I got into college, there were a couple friends who knew that I was queer, and a couple friends who used they them for me. A couple of close, very close, trusted friends who used they them, but for the most part, I still used she her. But I was definitely out as a queer person, um, and so being out as a queer person was really important to me. And then by the time I was in my early 20s, I was also using they them, um, and then later on started using they he or they them for a very long time, and then started using they he as well. Started identifying as a femboy very early in my streaming career. So I've been using they them for before I even started streaming. Um, Felt like I was a boy for a pretty long time. I was on testosterone for a period of time, but due to health conditions and my mental health, I couldn't stay on testosterone. It just didn't work for me. So I do identify as transgender. Not all non binary people identify as trans, but some of us do. And I think that for me, identifying as trans is very important because it connects me to the community that I serve as a therapist, and it connects me closer to my journey as a trans person. So I think that it's very interesting that because of the way that I present, I get ostracized sometimes by not just cis people that don't want me to identify as trans or don't want to see me as trans because I still present femininely, but also trans binary people. I don't think that my experience is similar to that of trans binary people. I have a lot of privilege, and I will always recognize that privilege, and I will never take away from the experience that trans binary people have. But I do identify as a trans non binary person, and I hope that my story helps people to not, you know, assume what every trans or non-binary person's experience is. So what I like to explain to people is that I'm feminine in a boy way, and even if that doesn't make sense, it doesn't have to, because that's what my experience is. So my pronouns are they he. Sometimes I say any. And if you are non-binary, you will probably know that when you go out into the world and you look a certain way that doesn't match your pronouns, um, sometimes it's easier to just go by any pronouns so that it doesn't feel so bad when you get misgendered. And so that is honestly the only reason why I go by any pronoun sometimes, is so that it doesn't feel so bad when I get misgendered. I don't mind if people call me pretty. I make the joke all the time that I'm not a girl, I'm just a really pretty boy. I don't know if y'all can hear my cat in the background. I'm not a girl, I'm just a really pretty boy. I love to wear makeup because I love to present femininely. I feel like I could be a feminine boy if I want to. Your pronouns don't have to match your expression. Your gender doesn't even have to match your pronouns. You can be a girl and use he pronouns. You would be a boy and use she pronouns. None of this stuff really matters for real, y'all. At least that's how I feel. It doesn't have to matter, I should say. It doesn't have to matter. If it matters to you, then that's valid as well. But to me, it doesn't have to matter. But hopefully, I know this is a pretty short, like I said, unstructured video. This is the most of my makeup routine though. This is what I do before I do my stream. But I just wanted to share with y'all what my pronouns are, what some of my story is. This is really like most of my story. I did share that part of the reason why I go by they, he as well is that I think that, and why I go by they, he, and why I present the way that I do, I think that it's nice to know that I can present this way. I like being feminine. It's very comfortable for me. It's very fun for me. I love dresses. I love fashion. I love having my curly hair. I'm very connected to my experience as like a black feminine person. And for people to still respect my pronouns despite me presenting the way that I do, those are people that really respect me at my core. And I think that that's really nice as well. And those are the people that I want to connect most with. So I hope this taught you more about me. I do want to go through really quickly and share the makeup products that I use because I didn't get to use that. Pretty much all my products are Pat McGrath, because I love Pat McGrath. It's Pat McGrath Labs highlighter, the Skin Fetish Highlighter Balm Duo. I don't think it says the shade, but it's like the lightest shade. And then the blush in Luscious Lotus. This is new for me actually. I just got it. It's a really bright shade. And then the NYX eyebrow pencil in black. And y'all saw me do my whole makeup routine. That's what I do. And then for lips, I mix the, got cat hair on it. I mix the Peri Para Mood Glow Tint in Cherry So Wet. So I usually put that on the bottom. This is kind of new for me. I used to use it a lot like a year ago. And honestly, I could just use this. But it's kind of bright. And then I use the Romand Melting Glass Balm on top. And this is in the shade Kaya Fig. But I want to end this video by saying I hope we could bring like wokeness back. I know that's like a silly thing to say, but I posted about this on social media. I think we need to bring like the general idea of wokeness back. Bring back respecting people, which has turned into this idea of wokeness. Bring back respecting people's pronouns, not assuming people's pronouns, asking people what their pronouns are before we address them. just talking to people and getting to know them and learning about them. Bring back all of that. Bring back all of that stuff that we consider woke now. This is the best time to bring it back and ask people all of those questions. Bring all of that back. And it doesn't matter who you want to be. It doesn't matter if you're trans, if you're non-binary, if you just want to practice or explore or experiment with using different pronouns, and you still want to be a girl and use he, you want to be a boy and use she, you want to try and use they here and there, if you're a woman and you want to only use she, if you want to say you're non-binary, it doesn't matter. Respect that and bring all that fun stuff back, because gender can be so fun and exploring all of that stuff can be so fun. So thank you for watching my first, I don't know if this is considered like a vlog or if it's just a get ready with me, but thank you for watching my first one. I will see y'all on stream later if you choose to watch. Like I said, I know this is a very like destructured video, but I felt compelled to make it so that y'all could learn a little bit more about me. And if you watch my streams, I will see y'all later over on Twitch and TikTok. If you don't watch my streams and you're just finding me for the first time, I hope that you enjoyed this video. If you're here to leave a hate comment, then thanks for that too. If you're exploring your gender for the first time and this is all confusing for you, that's what gender is. Sometimes it's confusing and sometimes it's very straightforward. That can be how it is too. But we'll all figure it out together. And I love you all so very much. And thank you for watching.